Hello everybody, welcome back to Latina MedLife. So glad to have you here as always. Today we are going to be talking about this taboo topic, accelerated EMT courses. Oh Lord. People in the EMS community get a little heated about this one, and I can honestly say that you need to take people's advice with a grain of salt, even my own advice. But ultimately, if someone is trying to discourage you from doing something you want to do, really think about that. And I say that with a lot of love because there were people who were looking out for me, of course, and were like, yeah, don't do an accelerated course. Like it's too much money and you're gonna forget everything. You're only gonna build up short-term memory and your long-term memory is basically gonna be shit. Listen. I've been through it. So I'm gonna give you guys the rundown and I'm gonna be honest about it, okay? Yes, was the course expensive? Hell yeah. Okay, it was $4K. But guess what? It bought me time. What do I mean by that? I was going through my nursing school application process, okay? I had just graduated from my search and rescue academy with my county, which I won't say, but I'm sure you guys could put two and two together. I had just graduated from the academy and I wanted to join the medical team, but I learned that in order to do that you have to have an EMT license. That's the bare minimum to join the team, and it makes sense, right? It makes sense. My CNA and phlebotomy was not enough. However, I found this course, and like I said, it was expensive. It was about $4K, but what it bought me was the luxury of time. And time is so important. It's so valuable and it's so precious. And a lot of people who end up pursuing accelerated programs, it's because they don't have time for a 6-month, year-long. Yeah, maybe going the community college route is great, but guess what? If those classes fill up, you're asked out. And what, you've got to wait 6 months for another semester? For my folks that are busy, for my folks that are changing careers, maybe you're a police officer and now you're going into EMS and you're kind of getting into the paramedicine, EMT stuff, right? So you're pursuing this. Ultimately, guys, there's a few questions that you need to ask yourself, and of course we're going to talk a little bit about me, but really you've got to get through a lot of material. Now this book is about 36 chapters long, okay? It's a big heavy book, and with my program, the second you signed up, they said, hey, come pick up your book, start studying this today. And that's what I did. I started studying so that the first day that I went into class, I was not clueless, I knew stuff. However, I pursued this 5-week course because I already had nursing prerequisites under my belt. Remember guys, I was applying to nursing school. So I was already taking my anatomy and my physiology, chemistry, inorganic biochem, that kind of stuff. I had a pretty solid foundation in my studying. I know what type of learner I am, and I'm a slower learner. But because I already have this foundation as a pre-nursing major, I decided to pursue this course. Now, for you guys, keep in mind, you may have small children at home. You may have other responsibilities and obligations. That's going to depend on you. So I was able to pick a slot that worked for me. That was Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's when class was. I would study 1 hour before class, so 7 a.m. I was studying. Okay, 1 hour before class in the parking lot, in my car, wherever the hell I was, typically in my car, or there in the class. And then when school ended at 4 p.m., my friend and I would drive to Starbucks and we would study until Starbucks closed at 9:30 p.m. This was Monday through Thursday. Mind you, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday goes by fast, and I spent all those days also studying. So my advice to you is you need to have time in your schedule blocked out, because those days you're not going to have time for much else. Now, I was very fortunate. I was working, but I was doing more like part-time per diem with my phlebotomy job. You may not have the luxury of that. So you, not like in a mean way, but like I'm very fortunate that I had the luxury to work the part-time per diem on the weekends and still get some studying in. And I'm very lucky that I had a partner who was like, hey, I don't mind. This is 5 weeks. I can give 90 and you can give 10%. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't 50-50 during this time. He was doing a lot of the cooking, a lot of the cleaning, a lot of the laundry. Like, I was out of the house. I was studying. I was busy. And when I'm not studying, I'm working. So you guys need to make sure that you have time allotted for this. Really, you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and not have the time to get through this course. Like, you would do yourself a huge disservice. You need to have that financial ability to say, hey, I can sit here and still survive and pay my bills, because that's the reality. We're all adults here, and I definitely had some money set aside to be able to pay my bills, right? Car's not going to pay for itself, gas ain't going to pay for itself, insurance isn't going to pay for itself, so you need to make sure that you have those things already taken care of. And again, I do recommend that you don't work during this time if you have the luxury to do so, but if you don't and you're like me and you got in some of those hours, good, get in some of those hours, handle your business, and only you know what is going to work for you. So really tap into that. I'm just gonna pull out my notes here, but just keep in mind what kind of learner you are. Even if you're a slow learner, you can still get through something like this, but if it's your first time interacting with material like this, it's going to be challenging. Like I said, there were people in my program who did not go to school, who were not in school for like 5 years, and they still passed. Okay, make sure you have capacity, make sure you have the time to do a program like this. Make sure that you have your finances sorted out so that you're not, so that you don't go into debt, guys. Like, it's a very scary world. It's scary being an adult. But also, there are little things that you can do. You can start studying a little bit beforehand. I would go into these chapters and then I would go on my laptop, I'd hop on Quizlet and just start practicing some of the mnemonics. There were just little things like that I did. For me, during nursing prereqs, blood flow through the heart, anything cardiovascular was a little bit challenging. So I knew that when it came time to this, to do, you know, the cardiovascular, to do the cardiology unit, I needed to be super on it. So I was already studying for stuff that I knew. I basically knew my strengths and my weaknesses, and I'm telling you that you need to know yours. If you have seen material like this, prepare yourself in that way. Now, on this channel, I'm all about motivating you guys to do what it is you guys need to do. And I'm not going to discourage you and say, hey, don't do an accelerated course. I've seen people do it, pass it, and I mean, just like me, right? Done it, passed it, got an A, passed NatReg first time. Like, there are people who are in longer courses and don't pass NatReg. It's challenging, but if you know what type of learner you are, you can get through this. I'm here to motivate you. I'm here to be honest with you. It is going to be challenging. It's going to be hard. There were times I woke up at 5 in the morning and I'd be like, okay, I should just get up and start studying now. Like, being so real, it's not going to be easy to get through that 5 or 8 week course if that's what you decide to do. But it's doable. Okay? It's doable. And I just want you guys to know that I actually start orientation soon. Sorry, burp. I got my first job as an EMT, and I'm really looking forward to starting. And another thing, like, I went on vacation. I was a little bit rusty when I stepped back into the search and rescue world. There were a lot of like little things that I had forgotten, some of my mnemonics and stuff, and I had people check me for sure in my search and rescue group. And that also motivated me to keep studying because, well, when you're in search and rescue, you're kind of doing stuff like EMT stuff. It's just out in the wilderness or, you know, that kind of thing. So I have studied pretty much since I finished the course, even after passing NatReg, because there were just some things, some topics that we went by that were super fast. So I felt like I needed to study those, and I did. So yeah, that's a little bit about my experience. If there's anything that you guys have questions about or you're curious about, definitely DM me. I can link my socials and all of that stuff, but I just want you guys to know that take what people say with a grain of salt. You know you best, and I'm not going to discourage you from doing something, especially when I have done the dang thing myself. Like, we don't have, like, time is precious. We don't have we're not guaranteed time, right? So do what you got to do. If you've got a bunker down and you have capacity to do it, get it done. Yeah, y'all got this. Take it easy, stay safe, study hard. You got it. I believe in you. I think you can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. So, yeah. Okay, guys, take it easy. Start studying. Do the damn thing.